This is the TNA Wrestling July 25, 2024 full show results video, and Nic Nemeth comes to the ring and says he's proud to be the TNA World Champion and Slammiversary could have gone multiple ways, but he's happy that Moose is no longer TNA Champion. Nemeth says that, unlike Moose, he will be a fighting champion because that's what a champion does, and he'll fight anyone from any wrestling company for the TNA Championship and make it the greatest title in all of professional wrestling. Nemeth is interrupted by Mustafa Ali, who says Nemeth winning the title is much deserved, but it's not more important than what happened to him at Slammiversary. Mustafa Ali says Slammiversary was the biggest screwjob in the history of professional wrestling, and Nemeth says Ali did a hell of a job as champion, but Speedball beat his ass. Ali says Speedball didn't beat him, he screwed him really hard, and Nemeth says that's none of their business, and the crowd chants that Ali deserved it. Nemeth says Montreal makes a great point and says we all saw Speedball tap him out, and Ali says he doesn't appreciate Nemeth's underhanded comments and announces a new campaign in which he makes the TNA World title great again. Nemeth says he doesn't have to launch a campaign because he's a fighting champion, and says he'll put the title on the line right now. Ali says he would love that, but he'd prefer to have it next week, and the crowd boos as Ali tries to sneak attack Nemeth but gets tossed out of the ring instead. TNA World Tag Team Champions ABC and Matt Hardy are backstage, and Chris Bay says they are no strangers to the system, but they know the numbers game will be involved tonight. Matt Hardy says he's had a premonition that someone is willing to appear that everyone believes in, and Ace Austin says they trust him. Nic and Ryan Nemeth are backstage, and they are interrupted by Frankie Kazarian, who says he heard what Nic said in the ring tonight, making proclamations like he's a king. Kazarian says there is only one king in TNA, and Nic says Kazarian is the king, but he pinned him in the middle of the ring at Slammiversary, so if he wants a title shot he can get to the back of the line. Ryan and Frankie have words, and Santino Marella shows up and makes a match between the two men for next week's show. Then we saw a match between Steve Maclin vs Cody Deaner, and the result of this match was Steve Maclin defeated Cody Deaner by pinfall with Kia finisher. The next match happened between AJ Francis vs Sami Callihan, and the result of this match was AJ Francis defeated Sami Callihan when AJ Francis hit Sami Callihan with the down payment following interference by Bishop and Swan to score the pinfall victory. Then we saw a mixed tag team match between Hammerstone and Ash by Elegance vs Eric Young and Jordan Grace, and the result of this match was Hammerstone and Ash by Elegance defeated Eric Young and Jordan Grace when Hammerstone puts Eric Young in the torture rack to win the match for his team via submission. JDC in the system cuts a promo backstage, where Alicia said that in the end, everyone would trust the system. Josh Alexander came to the ring for a promo addressing his against Joe Hendry at TNA Slammiversary. After saying he wanted to go back home to Toronto, Ontario, Canada, then being in the venue, Alexander then threw the microphone to the mat and refused to address his actions on Slammiversary. TNA X Division Champion Speedball Mike Bailey is backstage, and Speedball says he's still feeling the emotion from the biggest win of his career. Speedball says he has huge plans for the X Division and wants to show the world what it's all about. The Rascals interrupts and congratulates Bailey and proposes a future six-man tag, and Bailey accepts. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between Matt Hardy and ABC vs The System, and the result of this match was Matt Hardy and ABC defeated The System when Moose came out to interfere, but Joe Hendry came to ringside to even the odds. Then Chris Bay hits JDC with a top rope splash to score the pinfall victory for his team. Joe Hendry celebrates with ABC and Matt Hardy as TNA Impact goes off the air.